that with me. There you go. Welcome back.
Sorry, I was
The
typing
Vibe has
stuff.
spoken. Your premium Trevor podcast that now moved to bi-weekly because we're both very sleepy and exhausted. I'm Adelaide. That's Cameron, who does not have a last name legally. And welcome to your favorite after show.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
It's, how many times can the same thing happen? How many times can an episode end and you go, seriously? Again? And apparently the answer is 4. The answer is 4.
I believe 4 was the most, or no, I think 3 was the most times that someone has been voted out with an idol in their pocket in a season. And now we've had 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Which honestly,
Yes.
if we'll get to it later. Charlie went home, I would have been happier. A lot happier. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, here's the thing is, I don't know if I would have been happier, but I think it would have been more interesting from a like gameplay standpoint, but from a TV standpoint, there is something inherently funny about, oh boy, it happened again. They tried and it happened again. Where you sit there, especially with it being someone like Q, who like is very entertaining, but is not the most rootable figure in this game. For you to sit there and be like,
big mistake.
Be like, and him even being like Santa Maria once he tells her about it, he's like, tonight I'm playing it for me or you. If you don't win immunity, I'll play it for you. If you do win immunity, I'll play it for me. Tonight, 100%. And then we get to tribal and he doesn't do it and he goes home and it's like, man, and especially with it being this many in a row, with it being 4 in a row, it's just funny, man. It's just funny. That's comedy.
If I am playing next season, there's 2 things. I fucking blow my idol immediately, or I don't look for one. That's a good question, Matthew. I don't know.
There's only one I can confidently remember ever, which is the Eric blind side in Micronesia.
That's true, actually, yeah.
But like, I
don't remember if Julie's last season was where Dee's like, play your damn idol, because everyone knew they were getting on her.
I'm gonna Google this.
Okay. Also, quick update. Because we didn't do episode last week, we'll do like a brief recap of episode 11. Run the red light, which pretty straightforward episode. I think it's a little dumb. Yeah, I don't, or no. My messy sweet little friend is the one last week, but
Sure.
it is just a little dumb to me that whole episode is like, okay, guys, time to make more big moves. We take out Venus, add it to the list of things that I've done.
Yeah.
It's fucking underwhelming and it's boring. What's the point?
It really is just like, okay, although there is humor to be found in a couple of things there, where number one, Q's spelling of Venus, incredible. Venice. And number 2, Ben's vote for Kenzie, which they talk about this week, I think is wild. I think it's insane how it ends up.
I wouldn't believe it if it wasn't true.
Like you can see this week, he's literally just like, straight up, dude, I blanked and I wrote a name down and it was Kenzie's and I feel bad about it. Like,
what's up, new viewer Joe Harrison? Yeah, and she talked about that in her Rob Rapvin interview. If she told Charlie fucking nothing about it, Q's gone and she's here this week, plays her goddamn idol, and like Charlie goes home or some shit. I don't know. I do want to say though, the one thing I really loved about last week is there was a brand new challenge, which was super fucking cool. And there was the pizza reward where fucking Maria is like, This is so hard. I don't know what to do. Can y'all just play rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah,
What? That's so
it was
fucked up.
and like and they talk about it where they say like, hey, we definitely thought it was like they say like, oh yeah, the two people who need it, they're gonna play rock paper scissors, and everyone was like, hey, Q is out, Liz and Venus are gonna play rock paper scissors, and it's like, no, Liz and Q, you play. And it's like, why, what are we doing? And then like rightfully so, I think at tribal, like Venus drags Maria and is like, you put on this whole show just to take Q, who's the most well-fed person
It's
here.
it's so weird to me. Like, this is gonna be a weird analogy. I feel about Maria the same way I do about Gavin in Edge of Extinction, where I just get the sense that she's losing. And it's she has so much good in-game and in-game content, and there is so much shit going on there. Like, God, she's fucking terrifying, and we see it on screen. That jury will not vote for her, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. It definitely does seem, especially from the end of this episode, like the jury seems bitter at Maria. Like when she walked in with immunity, people didn't look happy. And it will be very interesting to see how that comes to pass upon upon like if she makes it to the final. If she doesn't, will they be bitter towards anyone else? I don't know. But it's gonna be interesting.
I think we can get into the actual, like, we should probably do our, like, power rankings, at least top 3, because I don't think Liz or Ben are getting a single jury vote.
No. Although to be fair, I did say this. I think there's a world. I don't like the world, but I think there's a world in which, with this jury being so bitter, if they get to the end with like Maria, who the jury seems to hate, Liz, and a Ben, I could see a world in which everyone's like, you know what? We just kind of like Ben. Ben's a cool dude. Let's give Ben $1 million.
Maria is the new era Russell Hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I will say I didn't write any notes last week. I was like watching the episode at work. Don't dox me, y'all. But it really was just like, it was a fine episode with an underwhelming Boots and a really fucked up reward challenge.
Yeah, like last week, but someone got voted out with an idol in their pocket, and that's rare. You don't see that happen very often.
No, super.
You really
honestly, it needs to happen more often. Now that I'm looking at, oh wait, never mind. No. I'm wondering if, I'm looking at the voting chart right now on Wikipedia. I'm wondering if Q voting for Ben at the Hunter vote was to like break a perfect game or whatever, because he's never been a threat ever, and also sort of like Liz has never come up. I don't think. I'm surprised no one ever has talked about Kenzie. Like, she is, on paper, she's a goat because they're literally not talking about her in the confessionals, but she's doing the most work.
So number one, people are talking about Kenzie because Ben voted for her, so like clearly she's a threat. Also, Ben had votes against him before the throwaway.
Yeah,
Q
but like
vote.
not that Q knows.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know what there is to say about last week. Sort of just there, sort of fine.
Yeah. I don't really have much else to say.
Yeah.
It just kind of was a pretty straightforward Venus vote with some weird random votes thrown in there.
Boom. This week, we opened up with Ben just being
no
like,
deal. I
do want to hear about this, but at the end of the episode.
It's fair.
We did get the
finale. We did get the finale this week. It's
I'm
over.
aware. Wait. You wait. The episode opens, and Ben's like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna destroy my position in the game. I voted for Kenzie because I just forgot what was going on around me." How the fuck does that work?
He's just like, I went up to the voting booth and I forgot, and then Kenzie's name popped in my brain. And it was like, yep, and I wrote it down.
I'm wondering if there's shit that we're not seeing because he is like fucked up. Jess was doing terrible. Liz is, I don't know how she's functioning. She took a shit in. Wait, I just saw it.
First time in 22 days.
She took a shit in on day 22 of Survivor.
Hey, you know what?
That's rough, buddy.
I've never taken a shit on any day of Survivor, so she's got me beat.
Yeah, I agree with what Joe says in the private chat. If people knew how to play their idols, there'd be a lot more to talk about. But like,
because if Venus played her fucking idol, who goes home? Q goes home.
It's a revote between
Kenzie,
Q.
Yeah.
It would be a revote between Q and Kenzie, and I would assume Q goes home at that point.
Yeah. It's too depleted to have any. That's probably fair. If I sit down and is like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, like I've seen
No let in the Zeppelin.
I've seen people theorizing that Ben gets evacuated in the finale, and like
That wouldn't shock me.
From an end standpoint, I get it, but like I don't think he's so bad right now that like it necessitates that. I think it's
So Joe, that is true. It happened to Joe in Korong, but I think the difference there is that he had eaten a lot and he couldn't shit. So it was going to like explode out of him. There was nothing in Liz's system to.
Yeah, it was Joe, and also Bruce from Panama. They also pulled Bruce because he couldn't poop.
He had too much wine. He had those wine poops.
You know, sometimes you get drunk in an outhouse, but you can't poop there.
Yeah, you know who you need to call? Shrek.
No, I don't think you do.
I would say, and this we'll get into it later. I do genuinely think there's a Kenzie winner edit going on because they're choosing to focus a lot on her during the Ben stuff this episode. Because he has his night terrors, and it's always just like, okay, yep, let's go, let's talk through this, let's get you feeling better, and she's by his side the whole time. If at the very least, this is a 7-1-0 and Kenzie picks up Ben's vote. Because she is in such a good place, which weirds me out. Because when we started the show, I was like, there ain't no fucking way she's winning. It's all Tiff because Kenzie is getting such a villainous edit at the start here. And it's gone a full 180. She is like the heroist of heroes.
Yeah, she's really, and she got the way. Like, today was a very, like, hey, look at Kenzie day. Like, Kenzie's cool. We should root for Kenzie.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of stuff going on.
She's for Ganonat. She got married, but like later. Yeah, I don't have a lot of notes this week. I think it's a very like things just sort of happened, kinda.
Things sort of happen. Nothing really gets like fully shaken up. Like the 3 people that didn't go on a reward last time go on a reward. Maria is sad. Then there's like some intrigue because Q finds an idol. There's some intrigue because they're like, what if we took out Maria? And then Maria wins immunity, and they're like, well, we're gonna vote for Q. But Q has an idol, and we all sit there going like, they're gonna vote for Q. Q's gonna play his idol. Charlie's gonna go home. But then Q doesn't play his idol, and Q goes home, and it kind of like negates some of the intrigue that we had.
Is Maria just Cassidy?
No, Maria's Maria.
I don't like that. Right. It seems similar where it's just like I want to get her out. I don't like her. I don't like what she's doing. She won immunity. All right, what can we do? And they're not weakening her game. She is a driving force. She's in a similar position to Julie last season, not just the mother archetype. I think they are just very similar players. I just don't. This finale is weirding me the fuck out because I don't understand what could even happen. Because Maria's the overdog who won't get to the end. Charlie is like the editing favorite, and then Kenzie is right there doing like the perfect under the radar game, even though she came in as someone super obvious to target. Like I always said that
Yeah.
Liz and Ben are fucked, but it's like they have 3 really fucking great winner picks.
It's so I don't get this season. None of it makes any sense. I'm confused. So much is happening, but also nothing is happening. Because people are like, oh, we got idols, and then no one plays an idol, so the game never like gets shaken up.
It reminds me of what fucking season is that? It's sort of like South Pacific, I think. We're like, oh yeah, I'm real tempted to turn on my alliance. I need to get their asses out of here. And then it's the most boring, like predictable vote. I think the Hunter vote was like a little interesting, but it is always just like let's target the person we talk about all episode. Oh, they have an idol. Never mind.
The thing I will give the South Pacific is the fact that like that is an active strategic choice from Sophie in particular, where members of her alliance are like, we got to do something big, we got to go crazy. And Sophie is sitting there being like, if they do something crazy and big, it will be bad for me because it will wreck my position. So I'm going to rein them in and control them. And this one, it's like, no one is really sitting here being like, yeah, if something big happens, it's bad for me. They're just like, hey, let's not have anything big happen.
Reward challenge. They gotta do a high step. I'm tired. And they gotta navigate a sandbag through like a rope maze of things, and then they gotta do one of those pulling hexagon maze puzzles. Good challenge. They do 3 things and they do it well. Maria almost wins, and honestly, if she had won a reward, it would have been real funny. And Liz is like, I know you don't want me, just go fuck off. They got Chinese food, which is interesting. It's Chinese takeout was just super vague. They couldn't have said like fucking like, oh yeah, you get PF Chang's, or you get something more specific. Nah, it's just Chinese takeout, very umbrella type reward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Charlie wins.
Like, this really isn't. I feel like this is a bad episode of our show because, like, we just don't care.
I think I'll be more invested next week.
Yeah, well, it's
just
a finale, and we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about.
More in the sense of I think that like we're at the end of the season where there aren't big moves happening. I think that things are safe, but it's also being repetitive. There's not a big drive right now. Where honestly, I'm more interested in Org Survivor. I would tell you about that because Sarah's playing again, and she's playing with Harrison. Do you remember Harrison?
Yeah, weird kid.
Yeah. What was it?
Not negative, not derogatory, but just weird kid.
The season 5 players were Sarah, Harrison, Haley, and Emperor.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember Haley and Emperor. They were early boots.
I remember the names. I'm like weird.
Yeah, they're both gone now. Sarah and Harrison are there. Yeah. Joe and Matthew, y'all should play Survivor on Discord. It's a time. I'm like not retired, but I should be. He is, and probably for the best. It's the vibe. Q finds the idol. Whoop-de-doo. Charlie takes Liz and Kenzie, which I do think is a really weird, like, at least to me. It sounds like the reason Ben voted for Kenzie is he is not only sleep deprived. He's food deprived. I don't think he had. Did he go on the pizza reward?
Yes.
Okay.
He was drunk
just
on the
seemed-
pizzas.
He seems not present, like at all. It sounds like he really needs food. So it seems weird to me for Charlie not to be like to Matt and be like, "Hey, Liz, come. Ben, come. Take care of yourself." When Kenzie literally took herself out of contention because she's like, "I can handle it. I know everyone else needs it more."
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Q finds the idol or whatever. And we get to the immunity challenge, which is taking a big dive into the water, walking on a net, I guess, in the water. Which Jeff's like, "This is really hard. You don't get it from home. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And then they do a dolphin puzzle, which people on Twitter were saying it looks like some like elementary school photo.
Yeah,
shit,
I
bullshit.
saw someone put Lisa Frank, and I don't remember who it was.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Lisa Frank, the
No.
like binders and the notebooks that have all the colorful art animals on them?
Yeah. I don't know shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Is this where I get my Deal or No Deal Island break?
We're almost done. We're almost there. You get the break when I can fucking start folding laundry. Maria wins immunity. They're like, "Oh God, what do we do?" And then Maria's like, "I'm gonna turn on my ally. We're gonna lie to each other's faces." And then nothing happens because Q's a fucking dumbass and doesn't play his idol. And it looks like the edit looks like they're like, "Okay, yeah, Tribal's almost time. It's almost time for Tribal." And Q's like, "Yo, Q skirt." Whoa, I think it's Brian Scally who tweeted Q skirts are at half mast today. I thought that was great. Twitter was popping off tonight.
It was like the moment the episode ended, I pulled up Twitter and I was like, these are some things.
I will say, I think at a point, this is a Survivor is turning to Big Brother for me, where I almost prefer Twitter than the actual episode. Because it's like, if the same stuff's going to be happening, other people are funnier than me who can actually like talk through and explain it better. And also just like, get some jokes, get some quips,
Yeah.
Like that was a good tweet, Twitter Xing shit. Yeah. Then we go to the vote and Q doesn't play his idol and he goes home. And it's boring.
Yeah.
Next time on Survivor finale. All right, Holtzman, it's your time.
Okay, so last week, part one of the Deal or No Deal Island finale, because we didn't have an episode last week. The four of them, they do a challenge, and Boston Rob cheats in the challenge and he gets a time delay.
Wait, what?
and then-
How the fuck did he cheat in the challenge?
Oh, because you have to like figure out a code, and then it gets you like access to the next stage of the thing, and they explicitly say at the beginning of it like, "Hey, you can't cheat and peek at someone else's thing." And Boston Rob does the Survivor thing where it's like, "Haha, someone else figured it out. I'm going to look at their thing," and they're like, "Rob, we said you can't do that. You can't do that. So you get a time penalty, and you have to wait for everyone else to start the next phase." And then it all happens. Rob comes in last in this challenge, but it was a cliffhanger at the end of last week. And then this week, Rob gets eliminated. Another girl gets eliminated. We're down to final two. One girl wins, plays the game, wins a little over $1 million. It's something crazy. I gotta run real quick. Jordan wants to call me, so I need to go.
End of episode.
End of episode. We'll be
See you
back
next week.
We'll be back next week
Bye-bye.
at some point in time.
Party.